Joining me now is esteemed geologist and author Professor Ian Plimer. Ian, let's start with the ABC. Former ABC board member Joe Gersh has called on the taxpayer-funded broadcaster to conduct a comprehensive review of its election coverage. He fears that the ABC will become a mouthpiece of government under Labor's supermajority. I think we got there some time ago.
28,000 of those homes, Michael.
What would your mother say, hearing you interrupt her?
I've been interrupted the entire time, Sarah.
Just please.
It's okay. I'm unflappable, Sarah.
I'm going to ask you one more time, and everyone is listening to me ask this question.
Sure.
How many social and affordable houses will you build?
Well, we will fund social and affordable
All right,
housing.
that's it. You're not answering.
Not getting an answer. You'll get an answer out of me.
And who can forget this on election night?
Let's just talk about this sensibly, Jacinta. We saw you wearing a Make Australia Great Again hat at a time when Donald Trump was poison to the world. We saw you give a speech in which you used a Donald Trump value statement to make Australia great again.
Ian, when the ABC is critical of a Labor government, it's always from the left, never from the right, never from the Conservative point of view. And I would argue their conduct during the Voice referendum, their coverage of that issue, was far more reprehensible than what we saw during the election campaign. It was so relentlessly pro-Voice and often hysterically so. It was pro-yes in just about every bit of coverage.
Well, that interview was vulgar. It was partisan, and the ABC's been like that for a long while. And the last time I appeared on the ABC, it was an ambush.
Of course.
That is their standard tactic. Now, when Sarah talks about what would your mother think about this, I look at her and think, well, only a mother could love that. I mean, you can't behave like that on taxpayer-funded television. That is just not the way you behave. And I think to set behavioural standards like that shows you that the ABC has got right to the bottom.
It has, but even if they do agree to this comprehensive review, we know who's going to be doing the review and we know what the recommendations are going to be. The entire exercise will be pointless because they will come up with no bias, no learnings and just more of the same.
Well, I can suggest some wonderful names for the review. Some of the people that are on this network, like Kroger, for example. I think he would do quite a good job.
He would love that role. He would do it for free.
Yeah, he would do it for free. Hardgraves would be another one. So there are some people around who would take a very different view to the soft glove approach that a review would be. And the trick with the review is to appoint the people to do the review. You've got to drive that. Once you've appointed the right people, you know the way it's going to go. And that's the way the ABC review is going to be. And I was once a listener to the ABC, especially ABC FM Classic, and it's just terrible.
Yeah.
They prattle on and tell you what a wonderful piece of music it was, and it wasn't. And so I think we've got to scrap the ABC, except for ABC Regional Radio, and put it out to subscription, like Sky.
Well, that's never going to happen. And the conservative, so-called conservative coalition governments who had plenty of opportunity to rein in the ABC, to defund aspects of it, to hold them accountable, refused to do so. And it would be, I think, foolish to expect the Labor Party to be doing anything like that.
Well, you reap what you sow, and that's what's happened.
Now, let's talk about these shock revelations about the Antarctic ice shelf. A study published in Science China Earth Sciences has found that between 2021 and 2023, the Antarctic ice sheet, far from disappearing, has been experiencing record growth. Almost 108 gigatons, or 108 billion metric tonnes of ice per year. How do we explain this? Because I thought this was going to be the end of the world, these rising sea levels and everyone was going to drown. And now we've got record growth.
Well, we have cycles, and these cycles are where the ice sheets grow and the ice sheets contract. Now, in Antarctica, you've got another parameter which journalists never mention. They never chase it up in questions. They never put it down in any articles about Antarctica, and that is there are 150 geothermal centres and volcanoes underneath the ice sheet.
Oh.
And if you're going to heat the ice from below, what's it going to do? it will melt. A very slight temperature raise from the top of the ice sheet, if you raise the temperature from -20 to -18, the ice won't melt. But if underneath the temperature is 750 degrees Celsius, it will melt. So when you ignore the volcanic factor, then you end up shock, horror, surprise. We have cyclical climates on planet Earth. We've known that for over 100 years. And nothing should shock you if you're aware of the literature.
Oh, well, you're speaking there like some sort of a geologist, some sort of leading geologist.
And what would
Professor
we know
Ian
about
Plimer.
climate? We've only been studying it for 200 years and looking at 4.5 billion years of climate. What would we know?
What would you know? Professor Ian Plimer, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you.